In the summer of 2009, Intertribal Council of Arizona and Maricopa Community Colleges hosted a statewide summit of Arizona community colleges and Indian nations and tribes. This was the start of an ongoing series of summit meetings between tribes, colleges, and universities throughout the state. Here are some of the stories of American Indian students, their families, and tribal communities that continue to drive this collaborative effort.
Well, first of all, I wanted to graduate. That was my main goal. My expectations was getting a higher education, succeeding. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, but at the end it will pay off.
I'm a student and also a parent of the Hoopa learning student. My goals are to attain a higher level of education and to find employment on the reservation.
My goal is to do the best I can in this world, being a Native American, hopefully lending a hand, helping with scientific discoveries in my field.
I am pursuing a master's degree in education. My concentration is human relations, and I'm pursuing it with Northern Arizona University. My main goal is to provide a good living for myself and my 3 children. I am a single mom of 3. I have 3 children, and it's not easy to have to be in that position. So my main goal is to go to school, get an education, provide them a good living, and in hopes that they would do the same for themselves later.
My future goal is to get a master's degree in education to teach young kids of technology today, knowing that what they know, what they're going to need to know in the future with more advanced stuff that is to be built by more people than what I am now.
I expect to learn to be independent, be prepared for what the world has to offer me.
Basically, one of my biggest goals is to learn how to deal with things on my own and take care of myself. And get a better education, of course.
Education benefited me through helping me with my speaking skills and my writing skills. And sometimes I think it also helped me with my social skills.
The challenges I faced was probably most of all financial needs, like paying for school by myself, going to school and working full-time.
I faced time management, having to commute to school and schedule my employment duties and also my school. Since I'm a full-time employee, I have a lot of expectations at work as well as personal expectations from myself.
Some of the challenges I face mainly right now is getting a job, trying to find a job that will work with my schedule, my schooling schedule. Other than that, top of that is finances. Since I'm still looking for a job, I'm just relying on financial aid I have. I had to get loans too, just in order to help me out too.
Coming from a tribal community, it was actually really hard because not really anybody went to college. So my mom tried to go, but it didn't work out for her.
The school payment plan was a big help too. A lot of sacrifice, meaning figuring out which one is more important, like fun or study time.
I think just having people that you can depend on to show you how to navigate the school resources and to have, I guess, just a good, solid support system.
My family, my friends, my coworkers, they are all a support for me. And for me, I found that having to talk with people who are going through the same thing. My closest friends are also single moms, so it's kind of like a single parent network that I have going with my colleagues and also my personal friends. What really helps me kind of recover from my challenges is having to go home, and home is the reservation. I'm from Rock Point, Arizona, and I usually go home and kind of relieve all that stress, get away from the city, get away from everything else, and that's what usually gets me back into Superwoman. It's like, okay, I can do this now that I'm back in this position.
The Thanatam scholarship actually helped me with probably money for food and for the daycare for my daughter. And then I also have financial aid.
Lowering tuition rate. Just a little bit more classes during the evening, because there's hardly a good selection of classes in the evening.
Well, I think with the finance thing, that should come before college, like from high school. Maybe high school should offer classes in helping students learn how to budget your finances.
What helps the student is to maintain contact with one person and to be able to ask questions, and if they have questions about a different department, to go through that one person so that they will be funneled to the right department.
Since I'm getting a master's degree and my husband's getting a bachelor's degree, I think it helped him realize the importance of education, and with that, I hope we're emulating those positive traits by showing that education is important and that we're setting aside time for our studies. And when I see that in him, I feel very proud, real proud as a parent.
And I hope that he kind of incorporates those values into the educational setting as far as college, because we really need, I feel that our people, all Native people, need Native students to come in strong with that, carrying themselves in that way, with our values, the values that we have, because it's who we are. And that's my fear, is that he'll enter that social life where addiction plays a role, alcoholism plays a role, and that'll totally divert him from anything that he's setting out to do, because there's a lot of that in especially universities. If they go away, if you goes away to another state, there's the parental guidance is kind of gone, and he has that freedom, and I just hope that I've helped him enough to make the better choice. So that would be my fear.
I think that with a program like the Hoopa Learning Program, it really would benefit not just the child but the family. It provides a family, I guess, in the university or college level too, and just from experience, my son seems more comfortable in that environment now that he's a part of something there.
The way I helped him was that I knew he was going to be going, so I knew what he had to take care of, because I'm a student. I had to do the same thing: assessment, tests, introduce him to the right advisors, and kind of get him going, map out his first few steps. Because when you're a kid coming from anywhere, it doesn't matter if the res or from home, going into a college setting, it's intimidating. You have a fear. There's this fear. Even just to step into the building to go enroll, there's you don't know what you're doing, but if you walk your child through there, it gives them a better direction, and you can embarrass them along the way, and help them meet the right people that they need, and to get their college career going. That would be my advice, is to help them map it out before they actually get in, before you actually start. Call, take steps, or whatever, find the right advisors. Native American, there's usually like multicultural building there. They have Native American advisors. Plug into one of those, get them going, because they'll have the right stuff. They know how to handle it. I'm a role model to somebody, whether I want to be or not. You know, and I tell them the same thing. You're a role model to people, whether you want to be or not. People look at you, they watch you, they see how you carry yourself, how you do things, and what you're doing. But if you go to school, do what you're supposed to do, and you make it possible.
More so in the past, as Native Americans, we didn't have opportunities. We either worked family land or worked the skilled trades in lower income jobs. So it was very difficult for Natives to get higher salary positions. That's the opportunity that it creates for Native people.
We need people who understand the law, who understand finance, who understand all the various aspects of running a community, running a nation. We need to be able to safeguard our resources. The land is very important because without the land, we won't have any place to call home. The language is very important because without the language, we cease to exist as Tanaadam. So our young people do need to learn as much as they can, and if they spend 4, 8, 12 years in school and come back to their communities, I believe that the communities will be blessed with their knowledge.
Conducting workshops with the students that entails the community, the culture, and also what they try to do at that particular college. That way, as Native Americans, a lot of the students, they lack the confidence in themselves to be successful. So that is a way to be able to tackle that issue. So before the students even step onto the college campus, they believe in themselves and they believe they belong.
A lot of times our students are afraid of the unknown. They're not sure and are unsure of themselves to even go through the door and to meet with anybody. We give them advice and directions, but there are a few times that there are some schools that don't always have somebody available.
I just really hope that we can have more people that understand the law to be able to fight for keeping the land, the language, culture, against those that would wish to continue to possibly do away with reservations.
Whether you're the tribal chairman or the custodian, a college degree, the more a nation can be educated, the better off it is going to be. It just creates opportunity not only for economic development, for knowing how things work, tribal governments, state government, and also national government. It just creates a better opportunities for that community and for the natives as a whole, not only just within their own family, but also for the whole nation. Collaboration, cost sharing of employees that address a lot of different issues with the Native students, preferably having those employees being Native themselves so they can address many of the issues that they have gone through and the current students are going through themselves. It'll be a lot easier a pathway for the current students to know and recognize with somebody either from their own tribe or that is Native that has actually gone through some similar problems.
In which many colleges, I'm glad that invite high school students to come on and take tours. Having access, whether it be through just coming on for tours to get our children acquainted with college and universities. And one of the things that a lot of people may not realize is that if you take a child or young person on campus, they become familiar with that campus, then they tend to want to go to that school.